Good morning. All right, now I just need my brother from another mother to join me. Good morning, everybody. Happy pandemic. All right, I just need to find Sean Maguire. Where are you? Where is he? Where's my brother? Hello, everybody. Okay, Sean, you need to request to join. Where is he? Where is he? Okay. Which is the button for someone? Wait. Hold on. Here he is! I found him! I think I'm getting him. Where is he? Waiting, connecting.
I'm here.
Where is... Yay!
Yay! I conquered you, technology. I conquered you.
Suck it, technology. You're so clever.
In your face, technology. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning, Sean.
Yeah.
How you doing? You're
I'm
looking very handsome in the
Thank
sunlight.
you. You're looking very beautiful. It's a lovely day outside and it's sunny. And I just, we spoke obviously just a minute ago and we were just saying, and I don't know if everyone else is feeling this a bit out there today, that today feels like a sort of, like a hump day in this thing. Like everyone's feeling it more today than yesterday. I don't know whether it's certain things in the news or what's going on in New York or the fact that the British Prime Minister has it. Or
I know. Oh my God, I can't believe that.
So you can't say, oh, well, the rich and the powerful don't get it, because a lot of the rich and the powerful are getting it. And so this thing is proving to be kind of quite non-judgmental about people's status.
Yeah, I mean, it does not discriminate.
No,
And
that's exactly the expression I was looking for.
It's interesting because I've never, I've always joked about what a great equalizer would be, like what would bring the world to its knees, like obviously, global warming and the environment. And then I thought, what if aliens came down, and then we'd all be in the same boat, we'd have to fight them together. And then here we are with the greatest equalizer ever, all on our knees worldwide. And it's such a bizarre experience, isn't it, to be going through something where whether I'm talking to my mum and dad in England or you or Mark, we're all, obviously we're experiencing it differently because some people are losing their jobs and some aren't and whatever, but it is such a massive equalizer. We are all literally in the same boat for the first time ever in our lifetimes.
And the weird thing is that we're completely dependent on each other to beat it.
Yeah.
The best way that we can defeat this thing is by being, to stand in solidarity and just follow these rules for the next, I don't know, it could be weeks, it could be a few more months. I don't want to depress anyone, but it could be. And the only way, our call to arms, our be the soldier, is stay the hell home.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It's an odd request to be made of us. Was it you that sent me the thing that said, no teacher said I'd never amount to anything, and here I am saving the world by sitting on the sofa.
By the way, everybody, the minute I get something really rude or silly or some sort of like joke to sort of lighten the mood of what we're going through, the first person I send it to is Sean Maguire. Immediately, I'm like, Sean's going to love this.
It's always appreciated. It's helping me get through the day.
My brother-in-law in the UK sends me the funniest stuff, and it's all way too naughty and rude to post on social media. And I'm like, I don't know, it's a pandemic. Everyone would appreciate it. Should I just post it? Will I get into trouble? Will my agent call me? I don't know.
I had the exact same. There's so many times I've gone to post something and then Tanya just went, don't post
Sean,
that,
no,
even in a pandemic. I was going to post, that video that I sent you of me doing my Trump impression? I always said I'm never going to post that because I'd get in a lot of trouble. And then the other day I was so angry that I was going to post it, and she was like, "Stop! Do not!" And I was like, "All right, sorry, I'll just." To
clarify, everybody, Sean's Donald Trump impression, dressed as the pig from The Magicians on Sci-Fi, as I keep telling Sean, is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. He sent it to me once when I was in the UK with my parents. We were rolling around on the floor. It's got to come out at some point.
Maybe when he's out of office, or you know, somewhere down the line. But
after you've got your citizenship.
Yeah, after I'm a citizen might be a smart time to do it.
Maybe wait on that. Yeah.
I think so.
Tell me how it's going being at home with the wife and kids. What's it like?
We are doing quite well. I think we're all collectively, as I said, feeling it a bit today, but we're doing well. I've said the best way we're going to get through this is if you look at anybody that's on submarines or in POW camps, they always talk about trying to build a structure so that you don't get lost in the craziness of every day rolling into another. So if you build a structure, it helps separate things. So we're trying to get up in the morning, we have breakfast, we have a little bit of cartoon time for me while the boys do accounts. And then we do some exercise. Me and Flynn have been out. We've been doing our little exercises on the mat. It's like a PE lesson.
That's sweet.
And Leo just wanders around just like an extra from Star Wars. And then Flynn does a bit of schooling, and I try and play the guitar for an hour or something to try and learn new songs. And then I'm learning the piano, so I'm trying to do that. And I'm trying to I was very smart that I went out and bought paint before the lockdown happened because I knew I wanted to paint some rooms in my house. And so I painted the bathroom, which I was very proud about.
How's
and
it
then
going?
I put the paint in a box out of the way, but then Tanya moved the box and the paint fell on its side, and then the paint all fell through the box. And then when I lifted up the box, it moved the paint all over a stroller and a baby seat, and there was like 6 items to clean paint off.
Do you know what I like?
It's really hard to get off. And then I got it all over my robe. And
I like to call one of these moments #classic Sean.
That's a classic Sean, yeah. And as I was sitting there cleaning up the paint, it just felt like I was moving paint from one side of the floorboards to another.
Just moving it around.
This is never going to end.
Did I ever tell you what I did when Mark was renovating our apartment in Hollywood? What I did with paint? Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
He's like, babe, will you go to Home Depot? And I'm like, ugh. Like, I can't. Ugh. Home Depot? There's nothing in there that I want. Maybe like a Snickers and some Diet Coke. But what the bloody hell else do they sell that I want? Nothing. But I was like, you know what? I've done nothing. I've brought nothing to the table in helping him with the reno. I'll go to Home Depot and get the colour. And I got back home, and it's a really long walk up to the apartment. I'm like, sod it, I'll grab everything. Brilliant. And I grabbed it. I got to the top of the stairs, and then I just came out of my hands and went boom, hit the floor, and started dripping down the stairs into the garage. White paint. I'm like, no. I went upstairs. I'm like, Mark, there's a massive problem. I don't know what I've done. He came down. He's like, what have you done? It took 2.5 hours to clean it up. But he's so clever when things go wrong. He's great in a crisis. He's like, you got to keep it wet, babe. You got to keep it wet. So I'm like wetting it. And he's getting it off. Oh my! And by the
I learned that the hard way. I got the hairdryer out. Tanya was like, "No, that's the opposite."
It's the opposite.
Like,
you're drying it.
We can slide it. No. Oh, keep it wet. Keep it wet.
It's not bubble gum.
Yeah. So we've got like a patch in our hallway that looks a little bit like a Dalmatian at the moment, but I'm confident by the time we finish lockdown that I'll be able to get that back to some sense.
Well, Victoria Smurfett will appreciate that. Cruella de Vil with all her Dalmatians.
Oh,
by the way, at the bottom, I'm noticing that a lot of people are going, Sean, you're out and about. No, Sean is in his robe / dressing gown for Brit in his back garden.
I'm sitting in my back garden. I'm not out wandering around town in my robe.
Yeah, I'm at the mall.
Asking people what day it is.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm out and about. Oh my God.
I haven't looked at anything at the bottom. I don't know if there've been any questions. Had you noticed? I hadn't really looked. But if you guys have any questions for us.
Yeah, ask us questions if you want to ask something. I was so distracted by your dressing gown. I wasn't even looking at any of that.
My now paint-stained dressing gown.
How long have you had that dressing gown?
65 years. I think it came with my house.
It came with the pandemic.
Perk, I'll take it.
This dressing gown, this little number, is from Marks and Spencer's in the UK. My mummy bought it for me for Christmas, and it only now just fits again because when I was pregnant, it didn't even close. And for a while, Milo's nearly 5 months, and I'm still like, it's so tight, guys. And then I was doing really well with like losing the baby weight, and I was going to this like mummy and me workout thing where you can take the baby and jump around. I was really starting to feel good about myself. And then all of a sudden, brilliant coronavirus. And now all of a sudden everything's getting tighter and tighter and tighter again because
so what do you do? How are you keeping fit? How are you exercising or doing anything? I mean, can you still go for a walk around the neighborhood, or are you
we're allowed to still go out and walk, but the walking isn't really going to get off all the crisps and chocolate and ice cream that I've been eating. So I spoke to my sister yesterday and she's like, mate, you need to step it up. So I actually went for a jog. Who am I anymore?
Oh,
I went
wow.
for a jog yesterday
You've
for about
changed.
20 minutes. I know, I'm unrecognizable, Sean. And by the end of it, I was like, do you know what? It was the best thing I could have done because it gets you out of the house. I thought
Yeah.
if I can just go for a jog every day, then it should offset the extra calories I'm eating because this is such an intense,
But also
crazy
just
time.
getting out of the house, I think,
Yeah.
just mentally. And I've seen a lot of people. I even got an email from like, I don't know if you got the same thing, going, watch out for your mental health. Don't go out, but watch out. I was like, should I change the way I'm sitting?
From who? From your mum?
Yeah, no, from local government saying, be careful. You might be going mental. I was like, are you reading?
Oh my
Are
God.
you listening to my Alexa? I was a bit
There's cameras in
concerned
here.
because it was a bit like, hurry up, wait.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you telling us to do? They're just like, remind yourself to not be mental. All right.
Oh my
thanks for
God.
that.
I tell
Only
you what
brought it to my
though,
attention.
yeah, mental health is like the biggest thing for the majority of people because when I'm checking in with my friends, it's like, it's not about what did you do today? It's like you're checking in with people going, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
How are you doing? Especially friends that are single or live alone.
But
Those
also,
are the
what are
people
you doing or what are you up to
hard.
is sort of a redundant question because you're like playing Connect 4, watching telly,
Yeah.
eating toast.
You know what I realized though? You can't end a phone call now because you've got nowhere to go. So you can't go, I'm just going to hop off. I've just got to pop to the shops.
Listen, I got to go. We got a bunch of people around. We're having a big, what is it, a bar mitzvah? We're having a bar mitzvah. I didn't even know.
It's a bris.
Yeah.
It's a bris.
Yeah.
You can't get off a call now because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah. If you should actually, I might do that the next time I'm on the phone. They go, all right, then I'll be like, where are you going? Don't pretend you got anywhere to be. We know that you haven't. You're right.
Awkward. Let's just keep
it's a very
talking
Larry
then.
David. Oh, speaking of Larry David, did you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I love that show. I love
The
him.
finale of that was
Oh, I
such
haven't
a
seen the
gift.
new one though.
So good. It's
Is
so
it?
brilliant, and that really cheered me up. And I was just like, everyone who isn't watching this should watch it. He seems to be the perfect tonic for these times because he's angry anyway, and so we're all angry now. So we're all Larry David, but Larry gets to be Larry David for us all.
I've always said that you're like a British Larry David. I mean, you are the funniest bloke I've ever met in my life.
I don't think it's that I'm funny. I think I find myself in
You
unusual
are.
situations. I think
Mate.
awkward things, strange things just seem to gravitate towards me, like attracting me.
You do attract ridiculous situations. I do agree, but I hashtag disagree by you saying you don't think that you're funny because you're just telling me a story. You don't even realize how funny you are, and I'm on the floor, and you're like, you're just telling me about your day. But it's a bloody comedy show, mate.
It's a tragedy dressed as a comedy.
It's Shakespeare.
Yeah, it is. It's Shakespeare. They will write plays about this 400 years from now.
So why don't you tell people that are watching any of your top tips of like what keeps you from getting depressed or down during this time? Who are you talking to? What are you doing?
I have a sort of almost nightly session with one of my friends, just kind of trying to sort of run through the day and do like a sort of a Daily Show version of it. Like he texted me yesterday and said, everything's going really well. My marriage is going really well. The kids are behaving fantastically. And it's all just going so smoothly. And I wrote back, I love the sound that when the metal hits the metal on the game Operation. I love that sound all of the time. And he wrote back, he was like, yeah, that's where we are. Where you're in a sort of strange sort of the Manchurian candidate, where you just go, cannot fight, cannot argue, must control the cell, you know. Yeah. So you just have to sort of, but I find like yesterday we went for a drive, which was really nice, because, you know, the whole city is sort of empty. So you can just drive all the way down to the beach and drive along the coast. We opened the windows up and played some music, and and that was really nice because it broke up the day. But yeah, the monotony is a tricky part. That's why I think the structure's important, and keep changing. If you do too much of the same thing, especially with a 2 and a 4-year-old, they get bored. So yeah, it's tricky, but music helps. I think music helps a lot. If you're lucky enough to have an instrument in your house that you can play a little bit, now's the time to get good at it. Or at least get better at it.
Yeah.
Or Tanya's sort of trying to learn Spanish.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
is not a bad one. That's something that everyone can do. Try and learn a language that you
Yeah,
haven't.
because you said something to me yesterday that really resonated with me. It's like you don't want to come out of this pandemic because it will end, and we
Yeah,
will come out of the other side. And the topic of conversation when we get back down the pub is like, how did you spend yours? Did
yeah,
you do it? And if the only thing I achieved was weight gain and Netflix,
yeah. It's less in
so
the plus column and more in the negative column. But you're right.
yeah,
That's it. I kind of feel like if you could go 6 months ahead now, and God willing, in 6 months' time, this will be sort of near its
yes,
end. Then I think to be able to look back and go, well, at least I painted that cabinet that I'd been saying I was going to do, or I wrote those thank you letters, or
or I
I
hablo español.
yeah, a little Espanol. Why not? I think that
Yeah,
if you can come out of it with something, then you can say I have something for it. Whereas if not, you'll look at it as a big chunk of time. It's a bit
it was
like paying
wasted.
rent in terms of time. You're just paying and get nothing back for it. Do you know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
just gone. So if you can kind of come out with it at the other end of it, like I'd really love to be able to play the piano a little bit at the end. We
Have
have
you
a
got
piano.
one?
We
Have you?
have, yeah. We've got a piano that
Mate, do it.
Flynn's, yeah, so I'm trying every day, but every time I start, and I'm like,
The kids
fuck,
are
I
in,
can't
yeah.
remember. Yeah, then Leon starts going, bang, 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 bang.
And it's
So
not like you can practice once they've gone to bed either,
no,
because you wake
exactly.
them up.
No, exactly. So it's a little tricky to get going on that, but yeah, I
Mm.
mean, I think that, and I'm trying to read, but I'm finding
Wait,
that
you
really
can
hard.
read?
I'm trying to read
Learn to read.
no, but when even when the kids have gone to bed, I don't know why. I think I feel like I want to watch a movie or something, and that's not like me. I'd prefer to sort of.
I cannot read a book anymore. There's just too much going on. My mind is so racy, and it's like I'm trying to not watch too much news. And then when I finally I get Milo to bed about 6, and I've been like trying to stay positive all day, stay in the present, not have the
Yeah,
news on when he's playing, and like, woohoo, have a fun day with mummy. And I
yeah,
finally get him to bed, and I'm like, "Boo." I mean, the last
yeah,
thing I'm going to do is like read a novel. It's just not going to happen, is it?
yeah. That's it. That's it. You need a kind of a different release, and you need something that will take over from your brain. Do you know what I mean? You're like, here, just make me laugh for 90 minutes or something, and
Yeah,
let me not think about
comedy's a
it.
good one. Even the other day, I was like, I've got to put Friends on just for a minute. I need to have
Friends is a
a
perfect
giggle.
comic. Yeah, Friends is a really nice, easy,
Hmm.
just comfort TV, I think.
It is. It's good for the soul. That always makes me feel. Friends has gotten me through a lot of dark times in my life. I just have it on in the background. I'm like,
Yeah, it is.
like
It's
I know
sort
all
of,
the words.
yeah, me too. I think it was. I think that's one of the reasons that show was such a success. I think I remember going through some pretty dark times when that show was on air, and it really. I remember being sat at home in my flat in London before I moved to America, just watching Friends on all day, a bit
Hmm.
stoned, and then I was like, great, that's Tuesday taken care of. So yeah, I'm grateful to those guys. They earned their money, even if it was gargantuan. But
I also,
what else are you doing? What else are you?
well,
Have
I
you
mean,
discovered anything, or are you just doing more of the same things that you?
well, I went for a run. That was big for me. I hate running. That's something about it really gets on my nerves. I've been like that ever since I was at school. So the fact that I went for a run and I've always wanted to learn to like it, I think will be good for me because it's not just about the physical exercise too. It's got like a meditative
Yeah,
aspect to it. Plus, I'm also outside of the house. Like I'm inside so much now, and doing
yeah,
that with a baby, as anyone that's got kids will know, like does your head in after a while. And like what really has changed the most for me, like I was already at home with Milo, so not a lot has changed. It's not like
yeah,
I was on set and then all of a sudden I'm at home full time. I was already with him all the time, which I love, don't get me wrong, but like my day was sort of broken up by going to like a mummy and me workout, and he was going
yeah,
to start his swimming lessons and just little things, or even just going to the shops. It sort of breaks up the day with a baby, and it's like activity, and he's stimulated. And now I'm
yeah,
like, I feel bad because like all of a sudden everything's got really boring. So I'm like trying to sort of like, okay, we've done that for 20 minutes. Let's go for a walk for 20 minutes. We'll do some tummy time. We'll jump around. We'll giggle. We'll do some stretching and kiss, and then it's nap time. And it's just the days have become a lot longer and like harder to make fun for him. So I feel a
yeah.
bit. I'm really struggling in trying to like.
No, it's a big ask of parents, to try. That's the thing, to constantly trying to find something new and creative to keep them stimulated, to stop them
Yeah.
from getting bored. Because R2 occasionally argue and fight. And Tony's like, what's wrong with them? And I was like, they're 2 and 4. They're brothers and they've been cooped up. You know, of course they're going to. They do that. They would do that quarantined or not. That's just their age. That's just the nature of brothers. But yeah, it's a big ask of parents, especially, you know, you're dealing with a baby thing, which brings its own challenges. Other people are dealing with kids with homeschooling.
Yeah, that's
or, you know, teenagers that are climbing the walls because they want to go out and see their friends. I mean, imagine being a teenager who's just fallen in love.
Oh, and you can't see your partner.
FaceTime and so I would imagine every different age group is facing it.
Comes with its own challenges.
Old people have got it probably the worst because
they really can't see anyone.
And also the fear that if they get it, that there's a very strong chance they won't survive. I mean, that's a horrifying notion, you know. So, but at least the world now seems to be at large taking it seriously. I mean, I couldn't quite believe my eyes and ears when I saw on the news Trump was saying, well, you know, it's just like the flu, we got to get back to work by Easter. And I was
brilliant.
Like,
you're like,
kill millions and millions and millions
bit
of people.
Bit premature.
Might
need to wait on that.
Yeah, it's just bonkers. I even if the president says, go out, start hugging people, I'm going to go, nah, you know what, I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait.
I'll just hug you from here.
You know what we should really call upon right now is Angela Lansbury. She would be the perfect person. Murder, She Wrote could pretty much have this wrapped up, I think. You know, what ironically might happen is if Boris Johnson's got it, and we think, you know, somebody on Air Force One had it when Trump was on the plane, he could have it too.
Yeah.
But I think he'll get a ventilator. He'll probably get one.
Probably.
He'll be all right.
Now, tell me, what is one thing that you're looking forward to? Like, because I'm trying to hold on to like one thing that when we come out the end of this, I think, because it's to have hope. I mean, Once Upon a Time was always about that, like having hope and looking forward. So I've tried to think of like, you know, and I've sat by myself, like, what am I looking forward to keep me going through this time? And my biggest thing is, because I was supposed to be flying to London on Sunday with Mark and Milo, and then we were going to do these amazing conventions in Europe with all of you guys. Yeah. So that's what's really holding me, you know, together, is that I'm trying to stay excited about that time where I can rebook my flight to the UK, come home, introduce Milo to his cousins, be with my family, redo those conventions that have been postponed, and get to that bit. That's really kind of helping me. Is there something that you're sort of looking forward to?
I've got it in my head ever since it started. I thought it would be like the end of summer when people will be allowed. I think we'll largely be in for a lot of summer in big parts. And I think when the end of the summer's coming, which is normally like, you know, Labor Day and things like that in America, I would love to have like a really big party. Yeah. With everybody that can be there, every friend that I've got.
Wait, can I come?
Well, let's see. Let's not carve anything. Of course you can come. You'll be the first on the list.
Yay!
A big pool party with everyone swimming and drinking and music and dancing. And then, like you, going back to the UK, seeing all my family back there, having a big party in the garden there. Like, I want to celebrate, when this is over, I want to celebrate like they did at the end of the World War. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I know it's not the World War, but I mean, to have big parties in the street, like completely do the opposite of what we're not allowed to do now. Do you know what I mean? Really get together in large groups. And
you know what we should do? We should do like a Once Upon a Time reunion with Vic and Merrin and Lana and Emily, and all at your house. Have a massive Once Upon a Time pool party, and we could stream it live. That's a very good idea. I'm in favour of that. Now, we are going to only do half an hour today, so before we start wrapping this up, shall we get some questions from everybody? Yes, and I want to get my piece of paper. I'll be right back. Stay there. Hold the fort back. Okay, ask some questions, and then who's got a question for us? Anybody? Questions? Yes, you can come, Gerda. That's in Espanol. Who's got a question for us? Anyone? Bueller.
Hey, did you get questions? Did you answer questions?
Disney Plus. Someone just said...
I'll take that one. Putting the makeup on was so much fun, and taking it off was even more fun, and finding little secret patches of green is the most fun. I feel like we might have done a panel together before. I feel like we have. I think. Didn't we? I've got like 4 stories that I've rotated. You know, we know each other's stories off by heart.
Wait, someone just asked if I like Disney Plus. I am hashtag obsessed with Disney Plus. What a brilliant invention. I mean, Milo's too young to even watch it, and I'm like, ooh, what's
I
on
know,
Disney
it's
Plus?
fantastic.
Have you got it?
Yeah, absolutely. We got it like day one. And
Brilliant.
I think it's money well spent. And
Mm-hmm.
just in time for a quarantine lockdown. I mean, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Who else has got a question? Can you see any?
Hey, Danny.
Favorite
Danny
thing
Slater.
about
That's
England?
my brother-in-law. Back
So, do we want to come to Germany? Yes, we definitely, because we love. Do we want to go to Germany? Ja, bitte. We love sausages and beer.
Yeah.
So, warum nicht?
Yeah, for sure.
We love Disney. What else?
What are we binging? Oh, what am I binging? I'm watching a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
Line of Duty, which is amazing.
Is that? Oh yeah.
Oh, it's on Amazon. You have to. It's the English show. It's
yes,
phenomenal.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Have you seen Tiger King? I am obsessed with Tiger King.
Tanya was watching it, and I caught like half an hour. So now I have to sit down and watch the whole thing.
I really hashtag
at first
recommend
I was
it.
like,
Definitely
who is
go back to the beginning.
Guy? And
Oh
really
mate, it gets so good. It gets really weird, and then all of a sudden you just cannot stop. Trust me. Just start again, give it a go, because everyone is loving it. Everyone's talking about it at the minute. Definitely Tiger King. It's really good.
Kerry, hey Kerry Boone.
Hi Kerry.
That was Robbie's.
Oh, everyone wants to know what I'm drinking. I'm drinking. It's backwards, but I'm drinking kombucha, and the flavor is called Love, because I thought we could all use a little bit. Because oh my god, I ventured outside the house yesterday for the first time, even though obviously hashtag at home. Everyone needs to be at home. But I had to get baby food, so I went to Whole Foods with like my mask and my gloves on, and it was really scary and weird in there. So when I saw kombucha with the word love written on it, I was like, that's the flavor, isn't it, for these times? So anyway, it's yummy. Cheers.
Hi. Sorry, I'm just seeing lots of people from different countries: Greece, Russia, Finland. We
Wow.
see you. We see you. Thank you for joining us for our morning coffee.
Well, I have really enjoyed doing this and going live with you. So
I have enjoyed going live with you. I feel like Philip Schofield and
Holly.
Forrester.
That
Philip
is my
and Holly now. Sorry, I'm thinking of the olden days.
Yeah, I love that show. I wish I could get that on TV here. If you ever need a laugh, go to anybody watching, go on YouTube and watch outtakes of their morning show. It is so funny. Like Holly and Philip Schofield, them losing it and not being able to keep it together is some comedy gold. It's so good.
Duo.
Anyway, I was going to say, if you guys are enjoying this, let us know if you want us to do it again. Because we will.
Yeah,
next week.
We'll carve out time for you.
Ain't got nothing but time, have we, mate?
And before we go, some of you may have seen this already, but poem by a woman called Katia Mira. And it says, and the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art, played games and learned new ways of being and were still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows. And the people began to think differently. And the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed, the people joined together again. They grieved their losses and they made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully as they have been healed. I thought that was kind of sweet and worth reminding ourselves that it'll get better. So hang in there, everyone. And try and do something today that makes you smile. Oh, and that reminds me, when we sign off, go on to like Alexa or whatever you play music on and ask to listen to Smile by Nat King Cole. And it might make you smile, or it might make you cry, or it might make you feel like you're having a hug. But I want to try it as an experiment to see if everyone plays it all at once. Do we feel a little something?
I think that's a lovely idea. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go and have a little dance with Milo. I love playing music and dancing with him in the kitchen.
He'll like this. It's very nice.
He hasn't heard that yet. Did you see yesterday with everybody clapping for the NHS in the streets in the UK? Wasn't that lovely?
It was so sweet. It was a really lovely gesture. Yeah, and well-deserved.
Let's do that with that song. Let's all listen to the same song together, like a song club.
And
tell everybody again what it is.
It's Smile. It was actually written by Charlie Chaplin, and it's sung by the great Nat King Cole.
Done. I'm going to go and do my homework right now. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. We love you very much. All right. I love you guys. Take
Love you
care.
too,
See you
Lex. See
soon,
ya.
Sean.
Bye,
Bye.
darling. Bye.
Bye. Mwah.